enter the beast. Here we go. The purpose of a mud bike is that we're not so worried about it, and we're going to spend more time riding. Yeah, he's riding too. More time riding than working on cleaning our bikes. I don't have a huge cassette in the back that I have to worry about cleaning each tooth, or up front as well. I'm gonna hose it off and clean her up. I'm gonna use Pedro's Green Fizz, a brush, my older shoes that I'm not worried about getting wet. Wow, these things are pretty much antiques over here, these specialized glasses, so they don't get too caked and muddy. Sometimes you actually smear mud on your glasses and you ruin them. And gloves that I'm not worried about. Now we're gonna clean the bike, and real simply, we're just gonna take some of Pedro's. And with green bike foam, one of the cool things is it's biodegradable, so I'm not worried about it going down the gutter. Go ahead and spray it in here on my drivetrain. Remember, I got a single speed. One of the beautiful things about having a single speed, it's so easy to clean. I got some not expensive mechanical brakes on my rotors on the front end. Up the saddle is where you get a lot of mud too. My pedals, I'm gonna give that a little spray too, why not? Spray my other pedal. My shoes, they're gonna like a little Pedro's too. And then I can go ahead and hose. Take off, you hoser. Let's talk about a little details of washing your bike using water, which I don't recommend on high-end bikes. Whatever you do, do not use high pressure settings or the, spray is one thing, but when you get in the jet stream or whatever, do not go into your hubs. Do not go into your bottom bracket, your rear hub, your headset. Do not point directly in that with a high pressure water setting. It's real bad. It's going to squirt that water up in there and it's going to rust out and it's going to ruin your bike. You just don't want to do that. Use the spray setting if you can as much as possible. The jet stream maybe more on the tires and you'll see stuff kind of loosen up. I dried it off really carefully. It didn't take me that long. I like to use a rag and hold it on the chain and pedal to dry it off. I dried off every little part on there. I actually took everything out of my saddlebag, paper towels, and get in there and clean it. Maybe even put some dryer sheets in there. My shoes and gloves, I got it kind of propped open with dryer sheets. Depending on where you live, you could come out and have mildew growing in there. Ooh. I'm gonna put them right up here next to my dryer, and this works phenomenal. The drying station, I think every household should have one for mountain biking or cycling, anything where you're going to be getting wet. You need to rotate yourself. You need to get inside, got to get warm, get some warm clothes on, then come and wrap it up so you don't get sick, so you can keep riding all season long. Wash your bike, dry your bike, go inside, maybe get yourself a beer. You can warm in from the inside out. This is actually a Jamaican ginger beer, but it still feels great. Switching your clothes. If you can, take a hot shower while it's drying so your bike's really dry. You dried it off physically, but letting it air dry a little bit as well. Getting some hot socks. Wait a second. I know these are two different colors, but they're warm, and I put them in the dryer, so I feel great. Lubrication is going to be key here after you ride. You want to get your bike lubed up so it doesn't sit and rust. You want to make sure it's as dry as possible before you do this. On my higher end bikes, I usually wait the next day and then put on my lubrication on the chain. I lent this bike out and I noticed that in here there was a lot of rust. I used Q-tips, and I'm not a big fan usually of using WD-40, but I used this time for my rusted spots. Silicone, water resistant silicone. For my chain, I usually use the dry version, but this time I am going to use the Finish Line Cross Country wet chain oil, all weather conditions. I have some synthetic grease. Basically, I'm gonna get in there with my bottom bracket a little bit, right in here around my bearings in my cassette, a little bit underneath my headset. You can always use this. I love this Slick Honey. I use that on my shocks. Love that stuff for the shocks, keeping these shocks rolling. Don't over lube lube your bike, because over lubrication attracts those things that are going to grind everything apart. I got a ride in thanks to the Mud Beast. I'm gonna take care of it. We talked about cleaning it. We talked about lubing it up for the next ride, so it's ready to go. This thing's gonna have everything packed back in it and set aside so I can just go out and jam and get that quick ride in. Thank you for watching. Ride the Chaos. Yeah.